What's up, world? This is your girl P. So, why is love so scary? I was thinking. I was like, why are we as people at some point in time or another afraid of love? Like being in love, you know, romantic love. Why is it so scary? And I was thinking, I was like, let me look at this like let me vibe high with this. Let me look at this from a higher perspective. The reason why we're afraid of love sometimes, not all, but sometimes, is because you have to fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally have to fall in love, which means you gotta let go. It's like you standing on the edge, and love is a swimming pool, and you don't know how to swim. You don't know how to love. You know, you want to love, you got love within you, but you don't know how to swim. In order for you to be in love, you got to fall in. So it's like a fear of falling, you know, so you just got to like just let go and just go. Like, and I look at it as like, cuz I don't know how to swim at all, you know. So if love was a big old swimming pool of water, and love was on the deep end, because it is deep, and I had to fall in there, like I had to get in there, I would be standing on the edge like, uh, uh, like I don't know, I don't want to. I don't want to go. If somebody got to shove you in, like somebody really got to shove you in, and when you fall in, you kicking and screaming and squirming, scared, because you have to fall. You feel it. Somebody pushed you in. Like love just came out of nowhere and just knocked you in a big old deep pool of emotional water, and now you in there. That's what that's what love is to me. It's like it's a big old pool of emotional waters, and you just gotta fall in it. So you fall in love. You fell in that mug, and you fell deep. And you couldn't swim. But when you calm down and you float back up, it's like it's not that bad once you in it. But I think, if we've been hurt, if we ever been in love before and we've been hurt, we don't want to do it again because we were hurt. It's like I fell off a bike, and I'm not saying I did what I have before, but I'm just saying if I fell off a bike, it might be scary to get back on it again. It's like I'm scared. I don't know if I want to get back on, because what if I fall again? But then that's like you trying to predict. You're trying to protect yourself from getting hurt, and you're never gonna do something again because you're scared you're gonna get hurt. But then you gotta look at it. When did you fall? When did you last fall? Like, how long ago was it? Did you fall when you were adolescent? Did you fall in love when you were young? Because most of the time, when we fall in love when we were young, it's like puppy love. It still hurt the same nonetheless, if you've ever been hurt, but that's something that happened when you were young. And it's like you got to learn how to forgive a person from when they were young doing something to you, because they didn't know any better, just like you. Like, you know, if you ever experienced like traumatic experiences in school with, people bullying and stuff like that, and you grow up as an adult and you still mad at those kids that was being mean to you at school, and it's like they were kids. You know what I'm saying? Like they were young, ignorant children. Like you never did anything before yourself, and you still mad at them for doing something when they were young. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but they didn't even know any better. Now, if these people were still doing that type of stuff, it'd be different. But still, you wouldn't still be mad at them for something they did when they were a kid. So it's like you don't want to forgive them, and because you haven't forgiven them, then you can't move on because you're still holding on to resentment from what that was. And that's how it is like when we get our heart broken, we in love, especially if it happened. Now, I'm not talking about as an adult because a lot of times adults can usually get over things, and the only way adult can't get over heartbreak is if they haven't got over a heartbreak from when they were young. So, like I said before, on maybe another video, you pack trauma on top of trauma. You never heal it, but just falling in love again. That song, baby, baby, falling in love. I'm falling in love again. That song is beautiful. Like you think about falling in love, like why am I gonna let something that happened so long ago keep me from my happiness? Why would I do that? Because when you realize that in order to get what is supposed to be yours here, now, and today, you gotta forgive for what was. It's like I was a kid. We were kids. We didn't know any better. We was trial and erroring around here. We hurt each other. You focusing on what somebody did to you and not realizing you did something to somebody else. They have to forgive you. Why you can't forgive? It's hard for people to forgive, but you can't fall in love if you don't forgive. It's like you can't fall in that pool of water if you don't forgive yourself for what you did to somebody else. And that'll prevent you from falling in. It's like I don't want to learn how to love again. I don't want to learn how to swim because I'm scared. I'm scared of getting in. I'm scared how deep I might go. Because love is emotions, and it's deep. You got to go deep, and it's scary to go deep. You don't know how deep you're going to go. You know what I'm saying? And the deeper you go, it's like I'm scared because if I get hurt again, but when you project hurt onto your situation, it's like you'll never do it again because you running from something that may not never be. And then you hold yourself back and never experience it again because of fear. And it's like it's not even real. It's like, why am I scared of something that may not even happen? Because I'm older now, and everybody isn't like trying to hurt a person, everybody not on that. Yeah, it is some people. I'll say this, like, if just always using myself as an example because I can't speak for nobody else. And when I use myself as an example, it's not like I'm trying to throw people that I've ever been in relationships with under the bus because I could only talk about my experiences. You know what I'm saying? If people that may know me may hear it and start making up stuff in their head and trying to figure some stuff out, but it's not even about that. It's like if my path of life is to teach, and I have to teach based on what my experiences are because I can't use other people as examples. I can use my own personal experiences. So, you know, and I'm not trying to bring up past stuff, but sometimes when you talk about the future, you do have to make a point, and it's not about the past because the past has already been forgiven. I'm not mad at nobody because, again, everything is a learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to love and being in love, Cause see, we love people, but it's different when it's romantic because you have to fall. And that and when you fall, it's like the other person has to catch you. And you have to trust, you have to be able to trust that person that you're falling, they're gonna catch you and not let you fall and hit the ground. Like, I'm gonna fall in love with you and you're not gonna stand there and catch me. You're gonna let me hit the ground, hit rock bottom, you're just gonna let me crash. You're not gonna catch me. And that's what usually happens when we fall in love with people. They don't catch us because they had no intention on catching you. You know what I'm saying? So your and when I say catching you, it's your heart, because your heart has to fall, and that person has to hold both of their hands and catch your heart to keep it from falling, because if it falls it gets broken, right? So that's where the fear comes from. It's falling, but it's like you falling in deep waters. It's like I can picture it, like, giving an example of standing on the edge of a pool, and because your emotions, are deep, you don't know how deep it is. You just know that you got to go in order to feel. You know what I'm saying? You know what you want to feel, but you have to go in it in order to feel it. But then you got to give your heart to a person and let them catch it. It's like your heart has to fall in another person's hands. And if that person is not willing to love you back, they'll let it fall. And sometimes people do it unintentionally and some people do it intentionally. But you can't let previous situations put you out of business and, not falling in love again. Because you just have to look at, like, you know, whatever the situation is, it's like it's a lesson or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not gonna pretend like it didn't hurt. I'm not gonna pretend like it didn't happen. I'm not gonna pretend, but I'm also not gonna let it stop me from loving again, falling in love again. I'm not gonna let it stop me, you know, because everybody deserves love. It's somebody for everybody, and maybe that person wasn't for you. And so, you know, I think that that's the reason why people are, afraid of falling in love, is because you do have to fall. And, and again, you have to trust the person that you're falling for is going to catch you. And so, even if they don't catch you, you have to pick the pieces up of your heart and put it back together, and, and mend it back together, and then just protect your heart and not give it out loosely. You got to make sure that when you do fall in love, it's not about having it's not about projecting previous situations on the new circumstances or whatever the case is. It's just like whatever you did the first time that got you in the circumstance you did, just do something different. That's all. It's not about not doing it again at all. It's like you rode the bike and you rode across, some oil that may have been on the concrete, you know, and you rode across it and you slip and fell. Okay, well, had you not ran across, the oil with the bike and the tire didn't slip in there, you wouldn't have fell. So the next time you riding your bike, you see oil on the ground, don't ride over it. That doesn't mean you won't fall again, but you learn from the last time. I'm not gonna do that again. That doesn't mean don't ride anymore. And what I'm saying is it means that it doesn't mean don't love anymore. Just don't do it the way that you did it the last time that caused the heartbreak. Just don't do it that way anymore. It's like trial and error. I'm not going to do it that way anymore. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, you know? And so, that's what I think. I feel like that, now I don't know everything. that thought just came to my mind. I thought I'd share it because the last video, I do want to say this. I had made a video. It's the shadow period for Mercury retrograde, and the last video is very informative. And I listened back to it, and I'm saying to myself, like, I cannot share it because I have too many jumbled up mistakes in it. It was a really good video. Again, it was very informative, but it was just too many errors in it. It's not like I said anything that I was going to trigger somebody with or anything like that, because I'm not trying to cause trauma and trigger nobody. And like I said, I always hope that when people listen to my videos that they hear it from a positive light and not a negative one. Just like I hope that this one is received well too. But, I'll be sharing a lot of, twin flame stuff because I know that, you know, it's time for twin flame reunions this year. And it's a lot of people that are they don't know. Some people probably do know because they've been preparing themselves or whatever. But they're preparing themselves for their spiritual union, and it's gonna come into fruition 2024. And so I'm trying to, help people to not be afraid of falling. You know what I'm saying? And of falling in love and giving you the concept of falling, meaning you falling in the water, because like I said, love is deep emotional waters, and you giving your heart to a person, and it's not like you throwing your heart at them, but you giving it to them and they're holding your heart and not dropping it, because if you drop the heart, you'll break it, and it's fragile. So it's like that is going to come. And, a lot of times people run. And so to prevent causing trauma to another person, it's like you do have to heal, from past experiences in order to receive what God has for you, because you're going to receive it. You just got to make sure you're ready and you understand that what happened before, it happened, you know what I'm saying? And you have to forgive that person because that person taught you something that you probably not realizing that they came into your life to teach you something, so that, you don't inflict what they did on the next person, and you forgive them. And because you're not perfect, and you cause trauma to them as well, and you have to forgive them just like they got to forgive you. And in order for you to get your blessing, you have to learn how to forgive. And and in order for you to forgive them, you have to forgive yourself for the role you played in it. So that's what I wanted to share, and I hope that message serves you well. And good luck to all the twin flames of 2024. And I holla though. One love. Peace.